Welcome to all our friends in the Power Apps community. You have joined the July 2020 Power Apps community call. And this is a very exciting call this month because we have the demo extravaganza. And if you don't know what the demo extravaganza is, you're really going to like this call. Essentially, we had a bunch of people from around the world submit their Power Apps to be in this contest right here. And we chose, the community, I should say, chose these 5 finalists and selected them as the top 5 favorite apps that were submitted. And so today we're going to see all those apps presented to us. So thanks to everybody for being a part of this and submitting your great apps. So about our Power Apps community call. Who am I and who is Chuck? Well, we are your awesome host, at least we strive to be. My name is Todd Baginski. I work at Canvas, where I'm a partner and CTO. I work on Power Platform, Azure, SharePoint, Office 365 stuff all the time. I love to give back to the community as well as organizing this call. You can find lots of blogs and videos on the different places you see here on the slide. And always my partner here, Chuck, how are you doing today? Charles Sterling?
Doing amazing. My name is Charles Sterling. Chuck, coming on 27 years at a little software company called Microsoft. So, and again, love working with Todd and all of you awesome people. So I'm actually on the Power Apps team, and I run things like the Ideas site and the community site and the MVP program for Power Apps. So yeah, I get the best job at Microsoft.
Making a big community really happy. This is a good job. So if you have not joined us on the Power Apps community call before, a little bit about what we do each month. We meet on the 3rd Wednesday of each month, and we always do that at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Our next call will be on August 19th. During the call, we always talk about the latest news and community contributions on what's happening in the land of Power Apps. Sometimes we even meet the product teams behind Power Apps, and they come on and show us new features and cool things that they've just released to the public or that just got into preview. We like to have technical deep dives on the technology and Q&A throughout the call. Our agenda for today is introduce who's on the call today and our team that is doing the call, talk about recent news and community activities. We're going to do that all real quick and then jump right into the demo extravaganza finalists. One more thing I would like to mention that is really what makes this call, as well as some of the other calls in Power Apps community, really great is the support from the community itself. All these guys right here, and other folks too, if I missed your name and you're on this call answering questions every month in chat, thanks. And I'd love to get your name on here and share with you too. So please reach out if that's the case. But basically, these folks here, a couple of them are on a different call or presenting at the Powerful Devs conference today. And I know, congratulations to Reza. He is a new dad as of just a few days ago. So he's not on the call today. But these guys are always on the call answering questions in chat and helping you out. So if you ever get blocked with Power Apps and you need a hand, you can come to this call and get one. So thanks again, everybody. All right, that brings us into the recent news. And there's a couple here I'm going to talk about. And then Chuck has some details on the last 2 as well. I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but on the Power Apps team blog, they released these 2 top posts here. The first one talks about new models in AI Builder and how you can use them to categorize items and other things like that. If you're looking to use AI in Power Apps, I encourage you to check it out. It might be something that really helps out what you're trying to do.
And both me and Reza actually have great videos on those AI Builder models as well.
Nice. I didn't know that yet, Chuck. Did you guys just drop those?
Last week, yeah.
No wonder. Gotcha. Awesome. The second one is about authoring formulas with dynamic schemas in Power Apps. And they use the example of calling Azure DevOps, and sometimes you get one payload back, sometimes you get another. It just depends on what you're querying and the information that's filled out for that item in DevOps. That happens with other APIs too. And so I don't know if you've ever worked with a Power App where you're working against an API that has a dynamic schema, but that's now in preview. And I'm actually working on a video about that one myself right now. So I encourage you to check that out as well.
And no spoilers, but this is the first step for us to get stored procedures working for SQL. this was needed to actually get stored procedures working. So no spoilers though. Go ahead.
Makes
Todd.
perfect sense.
Yeah,
sure does. So what about the last two here, Chuck? You had a lot of things to say about these when we chatted earlier today.
Yeah, so Power Virtual Agents, one of the top requests is getting it available in different languages. I think we're up to 8 different languages. And the one that's closest to my heart is being able to actually pass in context from applications. So I can actually go out and spin up a Canvas app and go out and tell my bot that I'm Chuck and I actually am interested in fishing and I have a place in Ocean Shores, etc. And my bot will know all of that. And that is done through global variables. So if you haven't actually taken a look at global variables, Renato just did a blog post on it 2 days ago. Thomas did one a couple days ago. And I think both of these guys actually have language ones. So Todd, this is really cool stuff, especially the global variables. Back to you.
That sounds good. So would that virtual agent know if you're telling a fish story or not?
The AI model underneath probably would be able to detect that. Yeah.
All right. So community contributions, we always like to point these out as well, right? That's what the community call is all about. So we use the hashtag PowerAppsCC for Power Apps Community Call. And all these folks here have tweeted with that hashtag and shared the awesome things they're working on this month. I encourage you to follow this particular hashtag as well and use it to share what you've got. It's another hashtag out there, but it's a really one to find focused information on the topics related to Power Apps. So thanks everybody for all those awesome contributions. Okay, so a couple other plugs real quick for some other ways you can go find more information in community calls very similar to this one. The first one is called the Power Addicts Hangout. And this one is going to happen in August. I just haven't reached out to Vivek to find out which day yet. Usually I see them do that on the 2nd or 3rd Tuesday, if I recall correctly. But this is another call of many of the folks presenting here today join this call as well. And it's a chance to share your knowledge and what you're working on with Power Apps and help each other out. Then Donna and Sarah also have a series on Channel 9. And you can watch their Less Code, More Power video series there as well. I know they have a lot of people from the community on who, again, talk about what they're doing, and you can learn really cool things about this technology very quickly on their show, too.
And the one that they just did with Alan Shai, I highly recommend. I just released that one 3 days ago.
I think I saw Alan in the audience here today as well.
So he can tell us about it. Yeah, great job, Alan.
Nice. We need to have Alan come on here as well sometime too. I've seen a lot of the work he's done on social media. It looks like tip-top stuff. Okay, well that brings us to the fun part of the conversation today. This is the demo extravaganza. And so I would like to start this off by briefly introducing Michelle. Michelle, thank you for coming along today and sharing your app here.
Thank you for having me in. I'm very excited so that I can show my Pokemon 3D app.
That's awesome. So I understand, talking with you about it, that your inspiration for this Power App was actually your kids.
Actually, for my work, but also from the kids, because I want to learn them how to create a Power App. And so I started creating games in Power Apps. And also I am one of the members of Power Apps for Kids. And so I was thinking in very simple mind games. So little kids can try to build their apps from us.
That's awesome. And so you're one of the leaders of the Power Apps for Kids group, right?
Yeah, I was from session 1. I started joining this Power Apps for Kids, and thereafter Peter Veenstra and Rory asked me, if you would like to join, please come in, and then we can chat together and see what kind of things we can do. And so I start thinking, how can I create simple apps for kids so they can build their apps after a session, after a Power Apps for Kids session. So I did a demo of rock, paper, and scissors yesterday, something with sound. and an animal app for animal farm app, so they can play around with this and give it a try.
That's really cool. I built a little tank shooting game with my son in Power Apps one time, and he really thought it was fun too. And I think I'm going to definitely be joining with your guys' event with him going forward.
The idea is that kids of a year of 8 or 9 or 10, they can start building their own app. So that's so we do it for very low level, but teach them how they can create their app step by step.
That's awesome. And you know, this fits with such a theme. Chuck and I were talking right before the call, and Charles, what were you saying? Like, there's a common theme you're seeing across every one of these apps that we're looking at today, isn't there?
Yeah, we didn't actually, try to sway the judging, but everybody seemed to choose, how do we actually work better with our family and our loved ones and the people who are actually in need right now? And it was kind of cool, actually. All of those are very inspirational and uplifting. There's no wine dictionary ones. Matt was actually, how do you go out and schedule time for actually this global pandemic? So this theme of being inspirational and uplifting was really positive. I really enjoyed actually just reading the case studies about these people and their apps. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Well, without further ado then, let's see what Michelle has created. You've got the Pokemon 3D app with the brand new mixed reality features.
I have prepared some PowerPoint slides, and then I will jump over to the demo. I like Pokemon a lot, but it's because my son is a big fan of Pokemon, and he started collecting Pokemon things and stuffs and cards when he was 4, and he's now 12. So we play a lot with Pokemons. And I would like to start with a demo, and then I go into the details about the architecture and thing. So I share my screen on the iPhone because it's a 3D app, so I cannot use the camera of my laptop. So also when you want to do a 3D model and give it a try, you have to publish it the iPhone on your
desktop.
Yeah. See, I have a lot of apps on my game apps on my phone, and here is the Pokemon 3D. And I'm not sure you can hear the sound.
We can.
Okay. This is the Pokemon 3D app, and the first screen you see 5 different 3D models. If you click on one of the 3D models, like in this case Pokemon, you hear a little sound. You can see the Pokemon in 3D. You can zoom in, zoom out. And if I click on Pikachu in real, then I can use the 3D model. So I put this on screen. So here it is, and Pikachu, you see it over here. I can take a snapshot, or I can move the Pokemon around. Let's say I put it here, and I take a phone, a little shot in my hand. I can go back, and also I can select another one, like Bulbasaur. I can zoom in. I can go back and directly click on the view Bulbasaur icon. That's why I put my do not disturb out. So let's say here you see Pokemon. I can make a screenshot, and finally I can select, let's say, those 2 are the nice photos. I want to save it. I can click on them and then save it into my OneDrive. And I found a nice GIF on internet, so it just filled up the loading time, the saving time, because my iPhone, I have an iPhone XR, and it's great big photos. and each photo is about 2 megabytes. But so it takes some time for saving to my OneDrive. And yeah, this is the app, some instructions, and also some kudos, because I find a lot of information from the internet, like the 3D models, the images. So I want to also give credits to them. And yeah, this is my Pokemon 3D app. And if I go back to my OneDrive, that's the last thing I want to show. Here's a Pokemon 3D, and the image I just created, I just made, I can find it back on my OneDrive folder. And so we created a lot of nice Pokemon images created when we did our daily walk outside. And we just have a lot of fun creating this. So I think this is very nice to share this with the community. And so I go back to the structure, the architecture of this Pokemon app. And actually, I got the idea from the community call of in May from Risa. And so I would like to give it a try. So I went on internet and I did some search on 3D models. So I found Pokemon 3D, and that's the idea for this app. And the 3D models, I have to save it into my GitHub. And I also use the connector of OneDrive for Business to save my my images. And of course, I use the Power Automate to push all the JSON format, include binary data to Flow, and that's encrypt the images and the file and save it into OneDrive. I also upload this app into the Power Apps Kids Zone. Here's the link. I will share it on the chat right. So you can download this app and give it a try. And I hope you have fun with playing around with this app, and share some photos, I would say, that you have taken together with your kids or family or outside anywhere. Yeah, I think I hope you like this. So it takes a little bit more time than 8 minutes.
Done. I'm going to ask this question to everybody. How long did it take you to build that app?
It takes me about 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
But I did this on my free time, in my spare time, in weekends, and after work. And the most difficult part was encrypt the data, the files, the photos I've taken from the 3D models, and put it into a flow. And I have looked a lot. I did a lot of research. Actually, to put the 3D models into my Power App, I got it in 1 day. So it's just very simple. Just save the 3D model into your machine, and then save it as a GLB file, and then the Pokemon, the app will show up. The 3D model will show up in your app. But then you want to do something with the photos you have taken, and that's the hardest part of this whole app.
Surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, and I want to do a shout out
to file, not actually interacting with the mixed reality part. Yeah,
and I want to do a shout out to Risa, because Risa make this Power App perfect. Because I found I did a lot of search into the of internet and blogs and community forums, but I couldn't find any solutions to save my image into OneDrive. So I did a request on Twitter, and Risa was the one who gave me some help for this. So I want to thank him for his time.
That's awesome. I'm sure he's going to enjoy watching it. He told me to pass on the good luck to everybody today and said he wished he could be here, but He'll watch the recording. I don't blame him. He's got less than a 1-week-old right now.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks again for coming on and showing that to us. It looks like such a fun app. My son wants to change it, actually. He wants me to modify it to take 3D tanks, so he can go outside and make it look like he's
just
having
change the model you want, and then you have your own app, like a Spider-Man or Marvel, or if you can find the 3D model from internet. In my app, in the link resources, you can find a lot of 3D models from others in their community. You can download it and change this into the thing you want and you like.
That's very cool. I have a feeling we're going to see a few of those popping up in the app gallery after this.
Yeah, I put the link on the chat so everybody can download the app and give it a try.
Super. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see who is up next here.
I think it's Matt, and
Matt.
You actually due to actually a biased nature, or you said I get to introduce Matt. So I want to tell a quick story, and this won't take very long. And how do I actually protect the innocent in this case? So I have a family member who actually works at a very large German company, as large as Microsoft, but it's not Microsoft. And they have the exact same problem as Microsoft, is that they've shut down their offices due to this global pandemic. And what they've done is they actually put one person in the Seattle region area, and his job is to go out and schedule everybody and walk them in and get their monitors and their stuff and their seats and take care of the scheduling. So there's one guy, let's just call him Bob. So Bob's job is to go out and basically curate the going out and accessing the stuff. Now, what would be the most ironic and unfortunate circumstance that could possibly happen in that case for this large multinational company? You guessed it. Bob came down and got COVID-19, and now they actually have no solution. All these employees cannot get into it. Matt went out and thought about this problem before we actually even got into it, and created a solution to solve that problem, where you can go out and schedule yourself, making sure that they're going to have social distancing and actually access your facilities. So Matt, thank you. And again, this gets back into just the kind of the ethos of your applications. If you guys haven't actually interacted with Matt online, I do recommend that you follow him. He's not just a Power Apps person. He's actually as much a SharePoint, Power Automate, and Teams guy as he is Power Apps. So he's actually, very much, as I call him in his bio that I wrote for him, and if it's wrong, I apologize, very much a jack of all trades. And I actually listed some of the technologies that he specializes in. So please do go out and take a look at the application. I've actually did a larger one on the Power Apps blog. Matt, I just stole a whole bunch of time for you. Over to you, my friend.
Hey, thanks. No, that was actually great because it made me feel a little bit better now after following Michelle's demo. Made me feel a little bit better. So, yeah. All right. Mine is a little bit more basic and simplistic than Michelle's, but I think it serves a real nice purpose, as Charles underlined. So here it is, abbreviation RCORS, or Reduced Capacity Office Reservation System. And in other words, a lot of offices are trying to let people come back in, but, want to still maintain safety. So here we have the solution for that. And this is our home screen. Basic common navigation across on the bottom. And all right, so let's move into making a new reservation. So we'll go ahead and click here. And on the screen, so we have an easy way for the user to choose their date. And then in the middle, we have a donut chart that gives the current capacity for reservations booked versus available. So we can see 2 of 5 there. So right now, what I can do is go ahead and submit my reservation for tomorrow, today actually. And go ahead. We're brought to a success screen, which automatically redirects to the My Bookings after 3 seconds. But we're going to go back real quick and show a few features of the new reservation system. So as you can see, the chart has updated 3 to 5, and the max here is 5, but we'll get into how to set that in the future. But so now I want to go ahead and say I come back and I forgot that I had made a reservation. So I'm going to go ahead and try to submit again. And here we can see an alert that says you've already booked for this date. And that shows up for about 4 seconds and gives some validation that you can't double book yourself. Another feature of the screen is that if we choose, let's see, go in, there's 4 or 5 on that day. If you try to choose a day that's already been fully booked, we disable the submit button so that so that we can maintain our numbers and don't violate our policies. So next, we'll jump over to the My Reservation. So simple screen giving you when you've signed up for. The user can easily go ahead and remove any that they're deciding that they're not going to attend and free up the spaces for other people. And then jump over to the 6-day outlook. So here I wanted to give a little advanced notice so people can see what days are available. And also as a bonus, if you want to see, hey, I want to get there when some of my other teammates are going to be there. So if you click on the graph, it'll show you what users have already signed up, and as well as give their profile pictures. So we can go around and choose the days that we want to go in. Now, one small feature here, and give credit to Todd Baginski, some users may not have a profile photo, so we're going to show a generic photo instead. So that's a nice experience. And then finally, we have an office info screen. And this is just a place where you can post your company's policies, procedures related to this new situation with capacity in the office. So now maybe let's show a few of the behind the scenes features that make this app. Let's go ahead to our developer screen. So first talk about data source. So actually the data source here is a SharePoint list made up of only 2 fields, and everything is being driven off of that. So we just have an employee field, which is of type people, and then we have a date requested, which is of type date. And that's all that's needed. So the real power of this app is coming from manipulating the data using collections. So let's go ahead and talk about some of those collections. So we have 3 collections. Go ahead and give those a view. 3 collections. So the first one is I'm grabbing a filtered view of all of the data set from the data source from our SharePoint list. And the second one is reservations by day. And there, what I'm doing is I'm grouping all the reservations by days. And then third, I'm doing a count of each of those groupings to see how many reservations are made for those days. So that's where the power comes, and that's where you can manipulate, your data, using these collections and shape it and form it to do what you want to do, which is where we use throughout the app. Talk about configuration. So if you want to go ahead and use this, it's really simple to do. So as you can see, you just need to create a simple SharePoint list with those 2 fields, and then in the app startup, I'm setting a variable for max capacity, and that's where I have set to 5. So depending on what your office's capacity is, we just need to change that variable to the number that fits that deal. And then the office info text is just right now just a plain text label area, so that can be easily changed. And besides swapping out your data source for mine, there you go. You can get rolling with this app right away. Just a couple other tech things I wanted to discuss. So for performance, we have no performance suggestions. So it's tip-top according to the checker. As you can see in the app on start, we're using the concurrent function where necessary to increase performance, setting and collecting things at the same time to save. And also one other thing I want to point out, best practice to only call functions like today and user once and store them again for performance hits, so we don't have to keep making those calls. Finally, on our submit button, also have some built-in error handling in case your data doesn't properly save to your data source. We're going to notify the user with a error notification to handle that. That is about it.
Lots of nice little patterns in the app there. I remember when Matt showed this to us on our internal company Scrum a few weeks ago. I was just blown away when he did the whole thing with 2 columns and 1 list. I was like, what? That's too easy. But it's just amazing. Just like going back to Michelle's demo here too, right? Like you have such amazing, powerful technology you built at your fingertips, and you hardly had to do really any coding to build such a cool app. Yeah. Real testament to the platform. That's great.
Did we give a woohoo? Woohoo!
Yeah.
I did upload the solution to the community app samples in case anybody wants to get a hold of it.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. See some folks in chat saying nice patterns and things. I agree. That error handling example you had right there is a nice one to lift out and stick into any Power App. That's for sure. Excellent. All right. Thanks again. Let's move on here to the next one today. All right. Next, we have Deepak. Deepak, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you all.
Yeah, so I understand that you love to play sports just like I do, right? You like to play cricket, huh?
Yeah, till my body allows me to play, I will keep playing.
That's cool. So I know cricket lasts a long time, and I've never played that game, and I would love to try it, but what's the longest cricket game you ever played in?
Yeah, so the longest that I play is the 1 day. I never play the longest part, that is the 5-day game. That is more professional. I never able to make it to the professional cricketer because I choose to be an engineer. So that's the point. But nowadays they're keeping it very small. So like it ends maybe 3 hours max. But because of COVID, no sports, so it's not happening anymore. So.
Yeah. It depends on the area. They have sports going where I live again now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So you also love, obviously, with the app that you're about to show here, you love kids learning stuff as well. And did your kids inspire you to build this app at all?
And yes. So I was telling my kid was my client for this app. So he came to me for this project. So it is for him he gave all these requirements. So whatever I did is all coming from him. Some of his requirement I have to didn't do it because that's what we always do. We never do all the requirement from the client. Sometimes we say it's not possible. So this is what happened. As you can see, the idea. So I have one son. He's 5 years. Because of COVID, schools were closed. He used to go to the daycare. Now he's not going. So every day he was surprising, running through the iPad app store, searching for new app, and trying to get every day new app. And the challenge with those apps, and nothing against those, you get it and then you need to start paying to get more, and they're not automatically going to enhance as you want. So it gave me an idea that why shouldn't I create an app for him that actually I can control, and I can give him very nice different features and functionality as move on. So that's what I picked Power App. And again, my background is developer, so I was thinking that I should be building an app, then why not Power App? Because number one, it's quick, it's simple, and as I'm saying, if your client is 5-year-old waiting for it, you can't just say it's going to take many days or weeks. It should be turned around within hours, or he's going to lost interest in your app or whatever you're doing. So that's why I picked the Power App. And as we all know, kids, they're never going to satisfy with one thing. So the app that I built actually a combination of 3 apps. It's not just one app, it's a 3 apps combination. So it's a combo of 3, so he can, and there's a logic behind those 3 apps. And as you can see, there is a math, so that's the education part of it. Then I have the puzzle, that's actually more cognitive knowledge, so you can play around that, click through, so his cognitive skills grow. And then I have this explorer because he loves space. He loves astronaut, he loves all these space things. So I created this explorer so he can click on different planets that we have, just read about it and see what they have. And he actually surprised knowing that some planet has more than one moon, because he was thinking there's only one moon exists overall. So by saying that, And then a little bit the Heroes app, as we all know, I'm hardly thinking of creating any Power App without using collection and gallery. So they're always going to be there if you're building an app, because they make the app possible. I also have introduced a component. It's nothing great, nothing really complex component, but just a component to give a thought of we can use component. And then I'm also using a 3D model there for the space of the planets. By saying that, let me share my screen. So
I love how your slide says, get the app up and running, and no, I am very important if the client is 5-year-old waiting for it. Now I know what you meant by the 5-year-old client.
Yeah.
Now, did you deliver his project on time?
I did.
Oh, that's good.
And I did, and I have 5 kids in my family across the globe actually using it, and they are happy. And me and Power App is up to the mark, so I'm impressed. They are using it, so this is like it's a trend in my family. So this is the Power App that you guys are seeing here. As I told in the beginning, it's a combination of 3 apps. So we have the math app that allow kids to actually do the basic arithmetic operations. That is the add sign, minus, multiplication, and division. Then we have a puzzle, where I pick a cartoon. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, the Paw Patrol. I think you guys heard about it because it was famous for the COVID regions. So that's his favorite. So I picked that for puzzle. And then we have the Meet the Planet, where you can actually explore our solar system.
Did you do all the images and graphics for this too?
Yeah, some of this I Google, but some of them like these I created from the scratch using the 3D. Yeah, the Paint 3D model. So in the math, if I click on plus, it will take me to a screen where you have this big grid with lots of different numbers. And then it's asking a question about 8 plus 4 is what? If I say 13, it's wrong because I don't know math. The answer is 12. And this was his requirement. What you are seeing on the right-hand side, he wanted to have a cartoon character there, Mickey Mouse, and then a coin on each of right answer that he select. So the challenge here to collect all the coins, and then we can keep going answering these questions, and then you will keep getting the coins as you move forward. Now you can, if you answer the wrong, there is a message. Try again. You can restart. It will shuffle these combination. As you can see, it keeps shuffling, so it will never repeat itself. I have a little music here too. If some kids like to have a music in the background to play with. Cool. Then similarly, I have the minus. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 9 minus 8 is, and again, this is very basic for us math, but for kids, this is really helpful when they are not going to school and they want to learn these arithmetic operations, especially for the toddler and the kindergarten kids. And then we have the multiplication. So here you can do the basic concept is very similar, and the division. So this was a little trickier because I need to make sure that I'm not going with the decimal division point. So that's what it is. So that was the math app. Then we have this puzzle app. And what this puzzle app is actually doing, as you can see here, this is the Paw Patrol. You need to click and click on the location that you want to move that image to. This is what finally we need to get, and I can try to do this quickly. So see if I can make it fast. I actually did it in 20 seconds one time because I know I did it so many times, so I know what goes where. So as you can see here, so this is how you can complete the puzzle. You can shuffle and keep shuffling and coming up with different combination. There is an expert mode that actually more smaller chunk of images that you need to do. So if you want to go a little bit more in the cognitive, you can actually try to solve that.
Can you take your own picture with the app or the device and scramble it up and solve it?
So scrambling is not part of the Power App yet. I tried, but there's not really we have that functionality yet. So I scrambled these apps using an online tool. Yeah. And then but I can change this image and put any image there if I have this 6x6 or 4x4 combination of those images. And then we have Meet the Planet. So this is our solar system. All the planets are listed here: Sun, Earth, Mars. And if I click on that, it actually take me to another screen that allow me to play around with 3D. And this is also really cool. They like it. They move around it, and good information about the planet. As you can see, this is our Earth. What we have here, and I didn't know that we have the hours is actually 23.9, 24. This is something I learned using this. Something like this. If you click on the Mars, it will open up the Mars information, and you can see this. So this was the app, or the apps, I would say, from the background point of view. So I have these different screens, and again, there are some, of course, I could have made these as one screen, but because I want to do it so quick and I want to make sure that I'm making them disconnected. So if I need to take it out and create a separate app, I can do it quickly. So I do this different screens. On the app, there are some collections. There are not some, there are many collections because you can see there are 3 apps running around. So I have a few collections this is for the puzzles that I'm collecting all the images. For the math, I'm having 2 main collections where I have the random numbers in different orders here. So one is starting from 1 and another starting from 10. And I'm going to use these 2 collections to actually calculate all my math operations, that is add, multiply, and others. And if I really go to the add screen, the key part here is this one. So this is where I have few variables defined that actually telling me my first add number from that collection, and also the second add, and I'm putting this this question here, and then there's another one that is result. So result is always here, and it matches to one of these information that you're seeing here. It's just when you click on that, it matches with the result, and if it's correct, the answer is correct, and that's how it's working. And on the grid, this is where on click, this is where I'm actually creating all that the logic behind the correct answer. So as you can see here, this is the main part from where I'm actually querying the grid collection, trying to get which one has not been answered, and getting the first one, and then that add collection is actually giving me the final 1 item collection that give me the question. So I'll get the first add, second add, and the answer. And this is how I can manage the total. This concept is very much applied to all the screens. And I'm using this collection for the coins. As you see, whenever I'm giving the right answer, the coins is getting collected. So that's the component that I created that actually allow me to pass on the coins. So that's where the collection parts come into the picture. I won't cover other screens because of the time limit. Then we have the puzzle app. And as I said, this is very, very simple. There's nothing happening, nothing crazy going on here. It's just on click of any of these items, I'm taking this item collections information. And if I'm clicking on another one, I'm replacing the image with that. So it's just the patching of the collection. So this entire logic is patched on a collection. And this is how it works. Similarly for the hardware one, the same concept. This is just making the puzzle patch on the collection that is assigned to this particular gallery. For the space, this one is pretty much straightforward images coming from the different for the different planet. And then for the 3D, we have this 3D view in 3D model where I stored all of my 3D model in the GitHub from where I'm reading it, and based on the click event from the previous screen, I'm showing that particular 3D image for that planet, and then you can play around. And all of this information is coming from a collection that has been initiated at the beginning of the app load. So this is it, and this app is available in Kids Zone. So if you want to download, you have a link there. Easily you can download there, play around. Let me know if your kid likes it and if they have more things to do, and you can actually make it. And I kept it very simple. I purposefully don't try to use something that is complex in Power App, so that anyone or someone who is really new in Power App can actually understand and make changes to it. So that was my whole purpose of making it very straightforward, linear approach.
This app has so much to learn from. Like you said, 3 apps in one. Very clever. I have a theory on how you determine when someone put the puzzle together, right? But you know what? I think instead of asking you, I'm going to go try to figure it out myself and learn more about your app.
And from the timing point of view, so I did this over the weekend. So on the Saturday, in the Friday night, this idea came up, and then I just told my wife that just give me this Saturday. Don't talk to me. I need to build an app for him, and then it's turned out to be a good app, I seems. There are some research went actually, and this is my personal experience. Most of the time in the Power App, the maximum time that we spend finding this good branding. The logic, once you get it, you can do it very quick. Like, for example, finding these images so it looks good. That's where maybe, personally, I'm spending more time rather actually writing the code behind that actually running this. And maybe this is because I'm not great in UI, maybe. I don't know. But this is what I feel after working on Power Apps mainly.
I feel the same way. I don't feel the code slows me down. It's how do I make it look good? That's for sure. That's awesome.
That's it from my side. And thank you all for liking it. Hopefully this will, the purpose is more to give this to the kids so they can actually use it, just not for play, but to learn. That's the whole purpose. This is for learning, because kindergarten is not happening, so kids are not learning, daycares are closed, and I want them to learn. So hopefully it will happen. And thank you very much.
That's awesome. Thanks again for sharing it. One question there is in the chat for you that comes from Brian. I think he was referring to your component that displayed the coins. And
yeah,
I think Brian said, so that is for simply used for output, that component? You just pass in how many coins to it, I imagine, and it pops them up?
Right, that's true. And actually, so as you can see, I'm using this 4-screen approach. And if I all the screens have the same concept, like they have a gallery, back, restart, Mickey Mouse. So they are pretty much similar. And if I have to add this coin collections or the gallery on each of the screen, I need to repeat it. So rather having it as a component, and that's just a concept. I can even have the component for this gallery too, that's showing actually these numbers. And these all 4 screens can become 1 screen from the usability point of view. So yeah, this was the concept to just showcase that you can actually use collections. And if you want, you can have this whole screen as a collection and use it and just pass on your final grade.
Very cool. Thanks for the tour and coming on to show us this app. Another really cool one. Lots of people really like this one too. All right, so next
is Matthew.
Yeah.
Hello.
Matthew Devaney, I actually want to introduce you. So, I actually mentioned the fact that I run the Power Apps community. And inside there, we actually go out and recognize special people with this Super User Award. Matthew exemplifies our Super User program. He really does. Actually, I think I counted it last night. You have over 1,200 kudos. Wow. Yeah. He's actually read 123,000 of your guys' messages on those forums. This is what this guy does. In any given month, this is the most incredible metric right now. In any given month, 6% of all the page views for my entire site is actually by Matthew. So he's competing and beating like Google bots. He's reading more and looking at more pages than a Google bot. And to go out and say that he's just going out and looking at forums doesn't actually give the entire story. He actually is kind of the soul that we actually use as our litmus test. If it passes, the ethics of the Matthew Devaney test, then we know it's positive. So we actually have put him in charge. Literally, we have put him in charge of going out and making sure that some of these posts are actually past I call it the sniff test. But Matthew is actually that for the Power Apps community. So Matthew, I don't know that I thank you enough, but thank you very much. And again, getting back to the ethics of these applications, family-oriented, did this with his wife for his kids. It doesn't get any better than that. Matthew, please show us your application.
All right, Chuck. Thanks for that introduction. Let's do this thing. So back in April, when we were all stuck inside, for quarantine, my wife came over to me and said, "Hey, Matt, do you want to make an app together?" And I was like, huh? Like that's a really weird question. And when your wife asks you, like, do you want to make an app together? You just jump on that. Like, to give a little bit of a background, she's an artist, right? She does drawings for a living. So I would do the programming and she would do the drawing. So there was, several concepts floating around. We really like this Best of Entertainment pack you might have played as a kid. Games like Ski Free and Chips Challenge and Rodent's Revenge and Mahjong. But what we ultimately settled on was doing this game called Pipe Dream. Okay, so Pipe Dream. I don't know if anyone's played this game before, but I hope you have. It's really, really fun. So what happens is some fluid starts coming out of this pipe here, and you have to start placing pieces on the board to make the longest pipe possible before you run out of space. Okay, so that's the rules. It doesn't really look like a power app though, right? So question is, like, could it be done? And the answer is actually, yeah, we kind of figured it out. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to flip over to my actual app now because this isn't my app. This is the original. And this is what we built. So here's Pipe Dream. We've got our little character here, Pete the plumber. And the concept is when Pete's on the job, he gets a little bit tired sometimes. He falls asleep and he dreams about pipes and making the best pipe network possible. So I'm going to click on play game right here. I'm going to bump it up to level 6 so it's a little bit funner. And here you can see Pete has gone to sleep and he started to dream. So that means it's time to start building some pipes right here. And it looks like I got a particularly tough challenge here today. I don't know how I'm going to do on this one, but oh my gosh, I'm going to start seeing the water coming out of this start pipe here really, really soon. And I better be ready to go. There we go. Okay, so now I've got a little bit of runway here. So there's several different types of pipes on the screen, and they all do kind of different things. So I'm just gonna click try again here because I've already lost. It's really hard to play a game while you're talking, guys. I don't know if you've ever tried that before, but yeah, we've got I
tried level 2, Matt, and I couldn't. So.
So there you can see some special pipes on the screen here as well, like a cross. Like you can loop around and get water in both sections of the cross. You can go to this reservoir here, and that gives you 500 points instead of the original, like the standard 100 that's going up right there. If you go through this pump, the water starts going faster, but you get a multiplier, which will increase your score even more. And they have these like single direction pipes here as well. So that means you can only put water in them one way or else you're going to not be able to make it through. Okay, so you can kind of see the counters going up over here. And at this point, I'm just throwing tiles on the board because I'm kind of nervous playing this game. So, but it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, all the graphics in this game were made by my wife, who's a little bit of an artist there. So none of this stuff is off Google or anything like that. We made this game together. I did the programming and she did the art. Okay, so can anybody guess how this is made? It's not really obvious to tell, right? Because it doesn't really follow the traditional Power Apps kind of, formula there. So I'm going to go over to my prototype, which I don't know if I've shared this before. And I'm going to show you what we did before all these fancy graphics were installed. Okay, so this is actually the original game before I put the graphics in. And there are, maybe about 60 different tiles on the board here. They're all components, Power Apps canvas components. And they just have a little property that allows you to change which tile is currently being displayed. Okay, so when I click this play button right here, it's going to throw a bunch of random starting tiles on the board, and I'm just going to show you. They kind of pop up like a Jeopardy board, and I've written it in such a way that they're random, and they're never going to conflict with one another, making it so you can't possibly, play a good, strong game there that's fun, okay? I'm going to turn on a little bit of another setting in the background here, show you my secret debug and sauce. I'm going to turn this to true. You might wonder, how does it choose or know where it can place something on the board? And now you can see all of these letters in these tiles, because behind this fun-looking game is actually this super nifty, huge collection. It's like a big spreadsheet full of data. It's like I made working on a spreadsheet fun or something like that. So when I click the play button, you can see, okay, this is where I can put the tiles with the possible entrances. That's what these letters are showing. And then when the game actually starts and I start placing tiles on the board, you can see, okay, so I got a left and a right here, so that matches. So, when it goes over to the next tile, you'll know you can, kind of complete it. And yeah, it's what it kind of looks like in the background. So just one or two more things here, because we are working with components. Like one of the challenges is, okay, so I got this water flowing inside there. It's really just a label that expands, over time using a timer. But how do I make the water jump over to the next component? Because components are self-contained, right? What happens inside a component stays inside a component, unless you use a toggle. Okay, so I'll just show you what that looks like really, really quickly. And I'm going to go to the hidden section of my Power App. That's how you know this is for debugging. And I'm just going to turn this to true. And now when I go over to the other screen here, hopefully this works out. Oh my gosh, we're seeing something strange here. So we'll see if we can do this today. If not, that's cool too. But we're just going to go to visible and click on true and see what we see. This might be a little bit overwhelming. Oh yeah, there's just way too much stuff going on here. I don't know what's kind of happening now. So yeah, so now some really interesting, weird kind of stuff going on right here. When the game starts, just what I want you to look at when it crosses over to the next tile is just like look at this little toggle right here. And it's going to start any moment. It's going to start in like 10 seconds. And then it goes, or up there, and it goes blink. And it goes blink. And this toggle over here kind of fires. And what that does is it takes the information inside the, that particular component, and it feeds it back into the spreadsheet and says, hey, next tile, maybe you should start doing your animation, and kind of so on and so on and so forth. And so this thing is just really a mess to look at, but it's how I debugged everything. This is really the main game here, what everybody sees. But I just wanted to take a moment to show everybody just kind of how the magic happens and kind of behind the scenes. Really hard to explain. So hopefully the visual helped a little bit.
Hey, this is so awesome. I have a question. How long did it take you and your wife to build this?
So it took us 3 weekends. So I spent 2 weekends, when my daughter was napping or in bed in the evenings doing it. And then my wife took 1 weekend to do all of the art. And then it was just like really quickly to throw in over top of that prototype I showed you. Yeah, I think I had to go babysit my daughter myself for a day and a half just so she could get it all done.
Yeah, this is so cool. And if you can't even tell it's Power Up.
Yeah, that was kind of the hope, because my wife doesn't really know much about Power Apps other than when I'm yakking about it. So our goal is just to create an app, and I think that's kind of the highest compliment you could pay. So thank you very much.
Give her major kudos to her graphics skills. She's really good.
I will. I wish
you guys make a great team.
Today.
Her graphics and your Power Up skills. This is awesome.
This is the only project we've ever done together, because I don't like to ask her for her time. She's been drawing all day, and I like to keep it light in the evenings. So
oh, you guys could do really well in business together. Just saying.
Send some clients my way.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm curious, did you obtain the code to the Pipe Dream game and look at that on how the logic went for any of that under the hood, or did you just observe it and then take notes and figure out your own logic?
Oh no, I would not have the foggiest idea how to get into the guts of the original Pipe Dream game. We just looked at it.
Gotcha.
And kind of did it out on paper, and what are all the things we need to do, and then we kind of got to it, just like you would plan any other Power Apps project.
Yeah. Very cool. That makes it even neater, in my opinion, because it's not like you had a reference card that you could look at and say, am I doing this right?
Yeah, and to be honest, we didn't know it was even going to work. I think the first weekend was just prototyping, like, can we actually do this? And then I was like, okay, you can start those graphics because I feel pretty good that it's going to be possible.
Nice. So what's your high score?
I don't know what my high score is, but I don't know. Sancho's on the call. He's made it all the way through levels 1 through 10 because there's 10 levels and we got like a couple million. So
That's
yeah.
cool. Maybe you could set up some Azure Blob storage for a global leaderboard or something.
I'd love to do that. Maybe
It's only
someday.
4 cents a gig per month. Not hard.
That's not bad at all.
No, not too. That's awesome.
Thanks. So throwing the link there in the chat for everybody who wants to download it and take a look at it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So show it to your kids. And thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for bringing it and showing it to us and making it and sharing it and all that good stuff. Awesome.
And
So-
I believe our last entry, it was Renato. So Todd, if you could actually bring up his slide, I think I actually get to introduce Renato as well. Renato is yet another one of my super users. And again, like Matthew, just again, exemplifies this space in that he actually answers 77% of every single forum question on the Power Virtual Agents forum. So if you've ever asked a question on it, there's 3/4 of a chance he has answered it. I think you're up to 20 videos. Is that right, Renato? 20 videos on the gallery just for Power Virtual Agents. I'm not talking about Power Apps. This is a brand new product that was just released in December. He's already got 20 videos in our gallery. So again, I could continue on with the stats, but basically the Power Virtual Agents community is Renato. So thank you, Renato, for all the work that you do. Again, you're a godsend to the community. So Renato, what are you going to show us today?
Thanks for this introduction. It's a pleasure for me to participate in the Power Virtual Agents community. 1 second, please. Okay, so basically I create the YouTube app. I will show a little bit the architecture, but the principal idea to create this app is to show the potential of apps created using Power Apps. You can see the kids app and the business applications, and you can see the Google apps. So I create the YouTube app using the simple architecture. Basically, the influencer, the YouTuber posts a new video inside the YouTube. I search using the query Power Platform. So I recommend you to select the right words because I answer Power and Platform. And this word is a lot of videos in my Comunidade Suficiente, but I store all videos inside the Comunidade Suficiente, the database. I create 2 entities, basically. The first entity is the videos, to store the YouTube videos. The second entity I use to select, to allow the user to subscribe in the channel. So the principal idea to create the YouTube channel, the YouTube app, you can see all videos and you can subscribe, you can like this video, you can see the description, you can open, you can see the whole video. So to choose the database and Power Automate to get the videos from YouTube. And I create the Power Apps. I will show after this slide. You can download the app and change the features and see the whole app. How can you do that? But I create some screens. The principal screen, the home screen, you can see the trending topics. I create the GIF here. And you can see the whole videos. You can search inside the app. You can see the trending topics. You can see the details video. You can subscribe and see the detailed description. And you can open the library, see your history, and open your account and change your account. Basically, I will show now my app, and you can see this app. It's very large because it's getting the data from YouTube, so it's very It's very large, the storage, but you can see the video here. You can search, like I can search the Reza app, Reza videos, and automatically the YouTube will search in the database and show the Reza videos inside my app, and I can see the Reza videos, and the search is using the title video or the description, and I can see one video here, the introduction to iBuilder. It's a real video. You can open, you can click and see the whole video and see the channel. I already subscribe in this channel, but I can see the whole video. I can open the description here. I can unsubscribe, and I can open another video and see the details here, and can play this video here or see the description. And if I subscribe in this channel, I can see in the subscription tab, I can see all videos using this channel, that is Metro Nashville. I can see here too, and open the details and see the video again. And if I click on my photo, I can see all links to edit my profile, to get the YouTube Premium, and another thing using the same application. And the library, basically here, it's a Go Horse screen, because you cannot get the playlist inside the YouTube, my mobile phone, and insert the image here just to show a playlist. So how can I do this app? I will show the entity. Basically, I have the entity here. You can see YouTube and YouTube videos and YouTube subscribers. Inside the YouTube video, I get some informations that Power Automate show me, like channel ID, channel title, what published at, title, and other fields. And all videos are here. I delete some videos today just to show better the performance inside the Power Apps, but I can see all videos imported here. And I get the workflow, and I have the workflow that get the videos using the query. The query is Power and Platform. You can use one word to get many videos, and I parse JSON, create an action, parse JSON to get the published, channel ID, title, description, and other fields here. And after I create a new item, new record inside the common service, and I using the YouTube video, the title, the channel ID, and all information. So my app closed. So I hope that you can download this app. I will post this link after this this presentation, and you can download. You can open this QR code in hands-on. I show on the hands-on how can you do that. And thanks so much.
That's really sweet. I love how you took the UI and you made it look so YouTube-y too. Like the menus at the bottoms, the top left, all of it. It just really felt like you were in that YouTube environment too.
Yes. Microsoft is so beautiful that can do Google Apps.
So you have an interesting pattern there. You're using the flow, right, to go do that search and then put the data in CDS, and then your app talks to CDS. What made you choose to do that versus just having the app talk to YouTube directly? Was it because of some of that missing metadata you talked about?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
What made you choose to use the pattern to get the data into
Yes.
CDS from YouTube instead of going directly to the directly to YouTube from the Power App?
Yes, when workflow execute, I insert the data from into the Commodore service and inside my app, because I closed my app unfortunately, but inside my app, I just read and connect to gallery inside the Commodore service and show the app. And when the user click on the subscribe, it's a button. And when the user click on the subscribe button, automatically I set a new item. I create a new item inside the YouTube subscribes entity, and just create channel ID and the current user and save this information. And the user open the video page screen. Automatically I get the entity and read if the user are subscribed in this channel with the current user.
It's really slick. I see some other people nodding their heads too about how it looks all like YouTube and everything there as well. So how long did it take you to build that app?
I built this app in the 2 days, 3 days.
2 days.
Because the final the final demo extravaganza was finished in 20 or something like that in June, and I started the development on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday I finished this app and published before closing this demo extravaganza.
Wow. So not only quick, but like under pressure too. Well done.
Yes.
Looks, that kind of reminds me. I think I forgot to ask Matt too. I think we asked everyone else how long it took to build the app, but Matt Schuessler, how long did it take you to build the Arcors app?
Yeah, 2 days.
2 days. Unbelievable.
Great.
You look at all these apps here that we just saw today, and none of them were a gargantuan effort to build. Really amazing across the whole gamut. Business solutions, productivity stuff, lots of different technology behind the hood. Really neat. Well, I guess now it's time to go check the webpage. Yeah. Big hand at everybody today. Thank you all for submitting your apps, taking the time to come on and share them with all of us. Really cool stuff. So let's go find out who the champion is this year. I will open my screen up and we'll share the demo extravaganza page and count the kudos. All right. Can I get a drum roll? All right, let's see. This is the top entries. That's the right one. We've got 48 for Deepak, Matt with 47, Matt with 41, Michelle 41, and Renato with 25. Deepak, it looks like you are our champion this year.
It was honor. It was honor actually, but I can say everyone's champion. Other apps are so great. I can't even say that how good these apps are, and trust me, I've seen all of them, and I play all of them because I like it. And Matt, your app is, I just can't score. I need to learn. I need to learn the pipe.
Wait, I didn't get to vote.
Then go vote, Christina. One of the things I wanted to send to is we've actually got stickers and T-shirts with the community logo that was actually created by the Power Apps community. They're in Sandy's home, and we need to figure out how to get them to you. So I think, Michelle, yours will be problematic. Everybody else will probably be pretty easy. Deepak, I don't know if we're allowed to send things from Washington to Texas, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, I'm going to send you guys an email to get your guys' address. So you're all winners, and I want to make sure that you guys all get something. So this is the example of the shirt.
Yeah, lots of fun. It's my favorite call of the year. I can't wait to do it again next year. It's so much fun. Well, thanks again, everybody. We are up on our time. That's why we did everything else ahead of time today, so we could finish on the fun high note of announcing this year's champ. We will get the contest going again next year, and maybe we'll see some of the same finalists here again. So from Chuck and I, I'd like to say thanks to everybody. Again, thank you to all for sharing again today. This recording will soon be available on the Microsoft 365 Developer YouTube channel. You can see the link to that here. You can also follow on Twitter at Microsoft 365 Dev, where they tweet out the link once the recording is done. And I hope we get to see everybody back here again next month on August 19 at 8 a.m., where we will have yet another awesome Power Apps community call. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, guys.